Hi there, this is Student Guide Live and we will be discussing the basics of residential status in this video. Before you go ahead, note that the concept of residential status is very important in determining the income taxable in the hands of assessee. All other things remaining constant, taxability of an income may change in hands of different assessees due to different residential status. For better understanding, we can take example of railway fare. Distance travelled and services availed by the passenger determines the amount of railway fare payable by him. Therefore, two adults of the same age travelling by the same train at the same time, boarding the train at the same station, may end up in paying different fare if they travel different distance or avail different services. Similarly, due to different residential status, the amount of taxable income may change in the hands of different assessees. In this video, we will not be discussing the conditions of Section 6. Instead, we will focus on the result of Section 6. Section 6 deals with the concept of residential status of an assessee. Section 6 creates four possible states of residential status called as 1. Resident assessee. 2. Resident and ordinarily resident assessee. 3. Resident but not ordinarily resident assessee. And 4. Non-resident assessee. However, every assessee must be a person first, and a person can be individual or artificial person. That is, an assessee can be either an individual or HUF or firm or company or association of person or body of individual or a local authority or other artificial person. Therefore, after stating the four possible states of residential status of an assessee, the conditions given by Section 6 are not for assessee but for person. In other words, the entire discussion of residential status revolves around different types of a person who are assessee. Check the different entities on the screen. Some of them are person and some are not. Those who are not a person cannot be assessee. Hence, the concept of residential status explained by Section 6 is not applicable to them. After separating all the entities as person or non-person, let us divide all the person in 7 categories. As discussed earlier, each category of person can be either resident or resident and ordinarily resident or resident but not ordinarily resident or non-resident. Upon analysis of Section 6 and its subsections, we can conclude that both the individual and HUF can be either resident and ordinarily resident or resident but not ordinarily resident or non-resident. Whereas firm, company, association of person or body of individual, local authority and artificial juridical person can be either resident or non-resident. Further, the scope of total income as explained by Section 5 prescribes same rules for resident as well as resident and ordinarily resident. Therefore, despite of 4 possible states of residential status of an assessee, for all practical purposes, they are treated as 3 possible states only. Now that you have understood what can be residential status of each category of person, you can study the conditions given by section 6 to attain any one of these states. Remember that fulfilling the conditions of section 6 will make the person R or ROR or RNOR, and non-fulfilling all these conditions will automatically result in NR or non-resident status.